Hi, welcome to the State of Ohio Soccer Club. This is our 2025 edition, our second season. This is welcome to the player and parent Q&A session. This is going to provide you some information about who we are and what we're doing and how much it costs. Let's go ahead and get started. So the agenda that we're going to talk about here today is going to be who are we, as mentioned, what we're doing, where it happens, when it happens, the parents' role, the player's role, how much is it going to cost, and then the next steps. We're going to finish this off with a little bit of Q&A. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into this. So who are we? So let me introduce our coaches first. First, we have Ronnie Desilowski, Dan McGinn, and Zane Taha. So Ronnie is a coach. He'll be our 2011 coach, and he's gonna be the coach. He's a coach that has coached at the ECNL level here in Central Ohio. He has also played professionally, and he's a remarkable coach. The kids that have played for him love him, so he's going to be a great addition to our team this year. Dan McGinn comes to us from Texas. He's coached his teams his sons for many years. He also comes with some D1 coaching experience. He's coached at University of Akron as the goalkeeper coach. And then we also have Zane Taha. Zane Taha comes for us from New Jersey. He coaches at one of the larger clubs in New Jersey. But Zane has not yet been able to commit right now. So right now, as the recording of this happens, Ronnie will be our 2011 coach. Dan will be our 2009 coach. If Zane is able to commit to us, we're probably going to look to add another one or two more teams to the state of Ohio uh, umbrella for the USA Cup. My name is Dale Morella. I'm the administrator. So I'm going to be dealing with all the administrative work that goes behind the scenes from now until we arrive up in Minnesota. So everything from carding to getting jerseys ready and ordered to registrations, hotel blocks, all that stuff. I'm also going to be your point of contact for any questions you may have that you're not able to locate yourself. So I am here as being your concierge, so to speak. So I'm going to walk you through all the stuff throughout the next few months to help you get your kid up there and enjoy this tournament. So let's talk about who the State of Ohio Soccer Club is. So the State of Ohio Soccer Club is a nonprofit club. It's a nonprofit organization. So unlike and I know that there are some clubs out there that are consider themselves nonprofit, but they do seem to take a lot more money than seems necessary for nonprofit. So unlike clubs that are out there trying to make their club bigger, have the biggest revenue, uh, have big marketing in all these high-end leagues and these national leagues. State of Ohio has one focus and one focus only. We want to provide an experience that allows players to remember and create these memories that last forever. That's it. Not here to make money, not here to market our team, to play at all uh, these league events that are all across the country. Nope. It's to find a tournament and create an experience that lasts forever. So how do we do that? So we do this by having this pyramid right here. So one and first and foremost is having fun and enjoying what you're doing. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not having fun what you're doing, you're just that's going to break down everything. You're not going to want to develop individually. You're not going to want to have team involvement, and you're not going to win anything either. So you have to have fun. And what we find out is that if you take away any of the lower uh, pieces of this pyramid, the rest of it just falls down. So we want to make sure the kids are having fun. We want to make sure they're enjoying themselves because only then can we work on, all right, let's go ahead and make sure you can pass the ball, you can dribble the ball, you can shoot the ball. And then after you get that, only then can you say, well, let's put a couple more players here and integrate them with you to make you pass the ball and make a run and have you receive the ball. At that point, then we can start focusing on some winning aspects. But at the end of the day, we are not, this is not a win at all cost. Winning is not the end all be all for this club. Sure, we're all competitive. Sure, we all want to win. That's why it's on here, but it's not the biggest piece here. It is actually the smallest piece. So this is what we're going to strive for. So how are we going to do this and where are we going to do it? So the tournament that we're going to attend is going to be the USA Cup in Blaine, Minnesota. It's held at the National Sports Complex. In Blaine, Minnesota is about 15, 20 minutes north of Minneapolis. It happens on Tuesday, July 15th, goes to Saturday, July 19th. We do the week-long tournament. There are two tournaments up for USA Cup. One is the weekend, which happens the weekend before the week long, and then the week, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then there's Mondays off, and then Tuesday through Saturday is the week-long tournament. We do the week-long tournament. So, a couple quick facts about the USA Cup. The USA Cup is the largest youth soccer tournament in North America. When you're up there, they actually claim that it's the largest youth soccer tournament in the Western Hemisphere. I have no way to confirm or deny that, but it is a big tournament. There are almost 1,200 teams last year that participated from 20 different countries and 20 different states. Ohio had two teams, both of them from the state of Ohio. We had the 2011 and the 2019. So, two teams from Ohio. Again, mentioned this is at the National Sports Complex in Blaine, Minnesota. It's the Sons of Norway in 1985. So you see on the bottom left hand, you see two tournament medals. Those are my medals from 1990 and 1991 when we went up there. And we took second place in both of those. And as you can see on the bottom, the one to the left, that one actually says USA Cup on the top, says Sons of Norway in the bottom. I think that was the last year that they actually used the naming Sons of Norway, 1991. They went straight up to USA Cup. You play the world here, so there are teams from like 20 different countries: Mexico, Jamaica, Brazil, Italy, Trinidad and Tobago, um, you know, Portugal, teams from all Holland. There's teams from all over the place that come here to play here. There's also going to be some collegiate coaching up there. But you really want to look at this as being, you're going to have the experience. The collegiate coaching is just an add-on. Most of the coaches that are up there are really from that area. You're not going to see coaches from some Clemson or Duke or South, USC or something like that. It's really kind of focused in the area. But there are coaches out there, so you can keep an eye out there for the coaches. The 2011 is probably not as important as is maybe the 2009s because 2011 the coaches can't even talk to you, but at least you get some coaching experience or collegiate coaching exposures. So how is the USA Cup set up? So it's set up, there's typically in every age group there's a high or top bracket, middle bracket, and a lower bracket. The teams are all going to play three group stages. So think of this as like the World Cup, where you play a group stage, you play the teams in your group. So if you have four teams in your group, you're going to play three games. Each of them are going to be, uh, part of that group. And if you play the three teams in your group, it's a total of four teams. The top two teams would go to the upper bracket. The set and the bottom two teams would go to the lower bracket. So think of that as being almost like Champions League versus Europa League. So you're going to have the teams, are going to get positioned into the competition that better suits them, and then you're going to go to that knockout stage. That's where you get the four games guaranteed. You get your three group stage and one knockout guaranteed. The knockout stage can consist of the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals. You can, depending on the number of teams that go to the knockout stage, you could end up with a round of 16 like the 2011s had. The 2009s just went straight to the quarterfinals. So again, we talked about last year, the 2011s, they were in the top bracket, and we ended up having, we ended up losing in the quarterfinals to the team that eventually lost in the finals. The 2009s, they were registered in the middle bracket, but that had a great amount of competition for them. We actually thought it might have been a little bit weaker at first, but once we started getting in there and started playing teams, we ended up losing to a team that we tied, which was the Barca Academy Chicago team in the finals. We tied them I think it was the first or second game that we played. We tied them and then we ended up losing them in the finals. The same team just simply ran out of gas. We only had 13 players. And so when you play, in the case of the 09s, they end up playing six games. The 2011s, if they would have made the finals, they would have played seven games. So there's a lot of soccer. And, so when you play that many games in such a short period of time, that's where the team just kind of ran out of gas. And, we're looking for a little revenge this year. So we're trying to get to that 16 players to make sure that we have, 15 or 16, we have enough players that can rotate in to keep healthy legs out there. And then, of course, then we talked about if Zane's able to do it, we could have some more teams. So stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook. So maybe we might get a couple more teams going. So what does the week look like? The week is going to look like this. So I mentioned you have some collegiate exposure. So on the 14th, that's Monday, there is an ID camp for the 2009s. I think it starts at 2010s and above, U15s and above. They have a collegiate ID camp, collegiate ID sessions where you can sign up and you go and do some training with some college coaches. It's a great exposure that you can have to college coaches if you want to go that route. But then in the evening, we do have our training session. So we all get together, we find a field, I pay for that field, and we go out there and we practice together. So it does a couple of things. One, knocks off some of that rust of travel. So the kids have been traveling either by plane or by car, gets them out there, lets them shake their legs out and get ready for soccer. It also allows the kids to meet each other. Let's go ahead and shake hands. Some of these players have never met anyone, and this is the first time that they're all playing. And last year, it was almost everybody. I think we had a handful of players that actually were on the same team, but for the most part, everyone was new. So kind of meeting each other. Hi, my name is Johnny. Hi, my name is Mikey, and you kind of shake hands and let's go play some soccer. And it also gives the coaches the ability to start seeing where their players are going to fit best on the field and how to start getting that lineup ready. Because the next day, Tuesday morning, you're going to have a game. First game happens Tuesday morning. You are absolutely 100% going to see some rust because these players never played together. Some immaturity as a team. You're going to see that on the field. So it can be rough. So that's why we get that training session early. You're going to have that first game morning or the afternoon. And then in the evening, we have the opening ceremonies. This is the only event, the only extracurricular event that we make mandatory for the entire team. The reason why we do it is not to to basically force the team to do something to promote the club or promote our agenda. Nope. It's really to ensure that the players are experiencing this. We want the players to experience this event because it's just an amazing experience. They're over there mingling and socializing with players from around the world. There's about 90% of the pin trading activities happens at this event. So we want to make sure that they take advantage of this and really experience this. So we allow the players and we mandate the players to be here, go through the event, enjoy this event. And it's an Olympic style ceremony. So every team is introduced to all the spectators in the stadium. They walk through, and then they have an Olympic style torch that comes through and lights the torch. And then at that point, they have a concert for everybody to enjoy. At that point, you guys are more than welcome to head out for the night because the next day you could have a game at 8 o'clock in the morning. You can stay there the rest of the night. I don't care. It's up to you guys. Make the right decisions. Do what you guys need to do. If you guys are having fun and just enjoying the crowd, enjoying the activities, enjoying the scenery, stay there and enjoy it. But if you need to, break away and just tired and done, and been a long couple days, get home, get some sleep because then you start the second game on Wednesday, and then we do have a club outing. Wednesday evening. Last year we did it through a pizza party for everybody, and I'm not talking. This is not everybody's just everybody on the team. This is the entire families, siblings, everybody, all invited. Have some pizza, enjoy the team, the camaraderie, get to know the families that are there. Keep in mind that when you're with your own team, your host team, your home team, your home soccer club, they have weeks, if not months, to do team building activities, take the kids out, make sure that they're bonding together so they can become friends and become more than just you know people that just meet on Tuesday for practice, Wednesday for practice, and then a game on Saturday. So they got months to do this. We have days, if not hours, to do this. So these club get-togethers are really critical to make sure that the players get together and really form that bond, because it really trails into the latter part of the week. The third game happens on Wednesday, and then this is the end of all your group stage games. At that point, you figure out where you're going to be playing the knockout stages. But before then, you do have the neon dance party. This is for the younger kids, U14 and younger. So next year, the 2011s will be able to go to the grand dance, which we'll talk about here in a second. But this is for the U14 younger. Um, Go out there and have a party, have a dance. It's really meant for the kids, no siblings, no parents. They do have chaperones there. As a parent, if you want a chaperone, you can. Basically just watch the kids dance and listen to some music. The next day, which is Friday, is the knockout stage. So you can start with that round of 16 or the quarterfinals in the morning or the quarterfinals and the semifinals in the evening. So really, it's a do or die. You either win or go home. This is really where we started, start seeing players starting losing their legs, and this is where we start needing to keep their fresh legs moving in and having the substitutions roll. And that's why we want to get to that 15 or 16 mark. At night, you have the grand dance. This is for the U15s and older. We had several kids that went to this last year and had an amazing time. So again, we encourage the boys, but we do not demand the boys do this. I think the younger boys, the 2011 boys last year, I think they basically instead of going to the dance party, they just sat at the hotel and went swimming in the pool. So just to give you an idea. But again, as long as they're bonding, we really don't care. We enjoy those bondings. But if they want to sit down, relax, and do their own thing, that's fine too. It's really up to them. It's what you guys can make of it. Then on the 19th, this is Saturday, you have the finals and the semifinals in the morning, and then obviously finals for any finals are left over in the afternoon, and that's it. Then you depart and leave. If you are flying, we would recommend that you would look for flights that happen after 6 o'clock on Saturday or maybe in the morning on Sunday. Okay, so the way to look at the USA Cup is it's like a soccer tournament with soccer camp with just a tournament on top of it. So yes, there's a lot of soccer there, and yes, there's a tournament here, but there's so much more. So we've talked about the opening ceremony, we've talked about the concert, we've talked about the dance parties and the pin trades, but there's other things. They have Nintendo up there, the kids can go play. They had ice cream that they're handing out all the time. Other things, food and snacks that they're always handing out. They're rock wall climbing, soccer, cornhole, skills competitions. You can meet professional players. They have a superstore up there sponsored by Adidas. So tons and tons to do at the National Sports Complex. Outside of the National Sports Complex, there's even more. So they got discount tickets for water parks and theme parks. You can go get they got discount tickets for MLS games for the Minnesota United. Minnesota United 2 actually plays at the National Sports Complex. Last year they had a game there. I believe it was Thursday night or Friday night. So you were able to go watch the game on campus if you wanted to. Remember, there's also the Twins are up there, WNBA, there's the Mall of America, and obviously, Minneapolis, St. Paul is there too, the Twin Cities. So a lot of stuff to do, and we do encourage you guys to take advantage of a lot of these things. So let's talk about roles, parents' roles and players' roles. So parents' roles, zero tolerance. So we want to make sure that parents are going up there and having fun, very stress-free. Like I said, I take care of a lot of stuff in the background from a logistics perspective, but I want to ensure that parents, when they get up there, they act like parents. Like again, be a parent, respect the referees. We do not want to see parents getting thrown out of games. We experienced this last year on one of our opponents. Their parents got kicked out of the finals in the 2009 championship game. And I tell you what, it was embarrassing to watch them. I felt really embarrassed for them to watch them get hauled off the game because they were swearing and yelling at the referee. Not our parents. Thankfully, our parents were very, very well behaved last year. Really, really enjoyed our parents, which is why we asked them all to come back. But you, again, respect those referees. I have been a referee for 35 years, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Referees are humans, regardless of what you guys think, and we can hear everything. And I'm telling you this is that if we hear people screaming and yelling, the odds of you getting that next call are pretty small. So you're doing your kids a disservice by yelling at the referee. Don't do it. If you get kicked out, it's even more of a disservice. So I've kicked more parents out than players out over my 35 years. So be aware and know that that can come. Allow the coaches to coach. When I've played, I don't remember any parents coaching from the sideline. But what I do remember is parents cheering from the sideline. Bring your vuvuzelas, bring your cowbells, bring your chants. When I played in the USA Cup, we had a fellow teammate. His grandmother came. She was from Mexico, couldn't speak any English, and she would always do these chants on the sideline. I remember those still today. I remember her screaming and yelling, chanting, cheering us on, and it kept us going. It was an amazing experience. And then at the end of the game, we would all go to her and jump around, and it was, she would just, I have no idea what she would say, but it was because I couldn't speak Spanish. But it was just an amazing experience, and that's what I remember. So that's what we ask you to do. If you haven't heard of Kyle Wilson, I'd highly recommend Googling him up. Listen to a couple of his videos. He talks even from a parent trying to make their player better. He has some really good ideas on how to look at identifying, is your player a top 3% or top 2% or top 1%? Does he have the skills and the mindset to be that player? And it really kind of sets yourself emotionally. If he's not that, one is, do you force it? And two is, if he's not that and he has no way of getting there, how do I just understand it and just know that he's just gonna be a youth soccer player, and this is the way we go. About 80% of what he says I agree with. There's some stuff there that I disagree with, but we all allowed to have disagreements. But he also talks about, to keep this well-rounded, how to become a top 3% parent. And the one thing he talks a lot about is joysticking your kid. Joysticking your kid is basically being over there telling your kid to do this, go there, go do the hit ball, pass the ball, do this. You're on the field basically with a joystick, and you're like playing a video game, and your kid is the video game. Let your kid do it. You don't need a joystick. Put the joystick down underneath the seat. Let the kid do his own thing, and let him play his own game. You don't need to joystick him. Remember that you had your time. If you played sports when you were little, that was your time. That's when you were able to be that player and do the things that you make your decisions, and screw up and mess up and make memories and score those goals, or throw the touchdowns. That was your time. Now it's your son's time or your daughter's time. Let them do the things that they need to do. It's not your time anymore. I know it's hard to kind of swallow sometimes because I really want to get out there and kick that ball too, but it's not my time. My time's over. I If you do get kicked out of games, I your child will face those repercussions as well. We don't want to see it, and it's basically we're not going to tolerate it. So just keep that in mind. We want to make sure that the players have a good experience. And again, it all comes from the parents. Players typically emulate what their parents are like and what their coaches are like. So we want to make sure that we have good sideline etiquette. Player's role. Again, flipping this on the sides. This is not anyone else's time. It's not my time. It's not your parents' time. It's not your coach's time. It's your time. Enjoy it. Embrace it. You only get to do this once, maybe twice. Enjoy the time. Really enjoy it. Embrace it, and do whatever you need to do to create those memories. But we do have some things that we need to follow here. So yes, we're going out there and have fun, but we need to make sure that you as a player have some code of ethics that you guys are going to be running with. One, you're going to have some respect. You're going to have respect for the coaches. The coaches, like I said, they're doing this. This is a nonprofit. They do this at no cost. It's all volunteer time. They're going to do this for free. They're out there to give you some training that you may not have seen, some insight that you may not be aware of, different, thought processes. So respect them. Your teammates, respect them. If they hit if they make a mistake on the field, own goals, whatever, it's not your job to belittle. You want to be a leader. Leaders are the people that lead teams. Leaders are the people that lead, soldiers in battle. Leaders are the people that lead in corporations. They're the ones that make the money, are the leaders. If you're going to be there and belittle your teammates, you're not going to become a leader. You're not going to be successful in life. You encourage your players. So if they make a mistake, they know. If they're already, you can see it on their face. They already know. Pick them up, respect them, get them ready to go. And if you can turn them around to make that next play, the good play and even a better play, so maybe they get an own goal, but then you pick them up and then all of a sudden 2 minutes later they score a goal. That is being a leader because you picked them up, you made them brush aside the bad, experience, and now they're now delivering for you as a team. That is what being a leader and being a teammate and respecting your teammate is about. Respect those referees. I've talked about from a parent side. I've talked about from a player side. Again, from a player, I know that emotions get high. I've gotten in many a times where emotions get high in a player. It's a handball. That's this. That's true. I get it. But if it's constant, then it's a problem. So again, respect those referees. They're not making a lot of money out there. These are not World Cup referees. They only have three sets of eyes. The ARs and the center referee, whereas there's 22 eyes watching everything else, along with the coaches and along with the parents. There's a lot more eyes looking at it from a different perspective. So you want to make sure you respect those referees and give them the respect, because again, if you continue to hound them and continue to lay into them after every single call, I guarantee you, you are not going to get the next call. It's just, human nature, just not going to happen. So again, respect those referees, but most importantly, respect your parents. They're the ones, plunking down the money for you. They're the ones taking PTO and not going to the Caribbean, not going to Europe, not going to Australia. They're going to Minnesota for you. And they're doing more than your coaches, your teammates, and the referees combined, far more than those three combined. Respect them and acknowledge what they're doing. You know what? Even go say thank you. I tell you what, it can go a long way. Go say thank you. Maybe even get a T-shirt out of it, a tournament T-shirt. Arrive on time, arrive ready to play. So yes, we talked about having fun, but we're here to do something. We're here to do something fun, and we're doing something. We're all here to compete and win as well. We want to win. We obviously want to have fun, but we're all competitive. We all want to try to get the best results, and we can only do that if you arrive on time and you arrive ready to play. This means if your coach says be there 30 minutes before the game, you don't show up at 20 minutes before the game without any shoes on, without any shin guards on, without any socks, without your jersey on. You show up, if it takes you 10 minutes to get ready and the coach says be there in 30 minutes before the game, you show up 40 minutes before the game. Get your stuff ready. So at 30 minutes, you're basically saying, Coach, I'm ready to go. Let's start warming up. And you can now take that leadership role and start warming up, ready to go. You come to play and you come to work hard. So, yes, again, we are here to have fun, but we're all competitive. I've seen it in U5 soccer where the kids are keeping score. They're competitive. That's why we do this. So we want to have fun, we want to compete, and we're going to work hard. It's going to be a long week. It's going to go fast, but we're going to work hard and we want to get the best results we can. If the best result means you finish as finalist, great. If the best results means you finish as the round of 16, great. If the best means we're the champions, great. But we want to make sure that we are going to get the best out of we can out of everybody. The other thing we've talked about this also is we want to encourage you take advantage of all the other activities around the USA Cup. You see a lot of stuff around there, from climbing walls to soccer cornhole to trading pins to expos, skills competition. Do all that stuff. Have fun. Pura Vida's up there. They were up there last year. I'm not sure if they'll be up there again this year. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. The only thing we have prohibiting is alcohol and drug. Don't do it. If we find out you did it, you're going to be instantly dismissed. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about money here. Money. So there's two types of money that we're going to have with this. Keep in mind that the state of Ohio is a nonprofit. We take no fees or dues. Go to the state of Ohio Soccer Club. I make not a penny. I actually put in a lot more money than I'm actually, than anything is refunded back to me, and I'll get into that here in a second. Um, so there are no dues, no fees. Every cost that we have, the sunk cost, is very transparent and shows you exactly what we have. And that's where we get the sunk cost. That's getting your player onto the field. Then there are variable costs. Variable costs are things that really you control, and it would be the variable costs that you would have with anything, any type of tournament. Getting there, getting food, lodging, all that other good stuff. So let's jump in what those look like. Sunk cost. So typical tournaments work as you have one flat team registration cost, $1,000. That's it. And your $3,000 a year that you pay for, that's where that goes towards. Again, I know $3,000 times 20 players on a team, $60,000. It plays a lot of tournaments, but you have coaches, cost, and everything, which again, from us, we don't pay that. Coaches do this all voluntary. So we take the $530, share that equally, $33.12. I did a little bit of rounding. That's with 16 players. There's a player registration, $115. So again, instead of just doing $1,000, they do $530, but then they charge player registration fees, player registration dues. Again, this is paid directly to USA Cup, and we'll get into that here in a second, how that's done on the next steps. And we use USSSA player card. We don't use WISE. We don't use US Club because it creates way too many conflicts. There's a little known one for USSSA. We use that one. It really gets rid of all those conflicts, allows us to move over. But there is some cost to carding those, about a little over $13. And then the kits. The kits consist of a home top, away top, home shorts, home socks, away socks. So again, two sets of jerseys. We also have two pennies that come with the player kits, as well as a bag, all for $65. So this isn't the Nike $550 kits that you're going to get. This is 65 bucks. You get all of it. Trading pins, we've talked a little bit about that at the opening ceremonies. Cigna Healthcare, which was our sponsor last year, they covered all the costs for the trading pins. This was well over $1,000. They covered those costs. This is where we use some of that sponsorship money. So the sunken total cost is going to be about $230. Again, the player registration, I want to speak on that just a little bit. I think there's a couple extra fees that they put in there. So I think it ends up being like $117 or something like that. I think there was a little, it was like last year was $110. And so I think it counts to like $112.35 or something like that. So they do put a little bit of money on top of that as far as fees and stuff like that. But you're going to be under 230 bucks, give or take a dollar or two. Now the variable cost. How do you get up there? What do you eat? What do you do? Where do you stay? This is all going to dictate, this cost, and you have a lot more control over this one. We're going to provide a hotel block. We look for hotels that are under $200 a night. So if you have 5 nights, it's going to be $1,000. We look for something with free breakfast, so breakfast included. Fortunately, we didn't have that last year, but we always look to see if we can find that. So then we can keep, at least one meal paid for every day. So this is what you see for 5 nights, $1,000. This is arriving on Monday, leaving on Saturday. Gas cost. This is from Columbus. Obviously, if you're flying, you don't have this, but Columbus about 770 miles. Some gas costs, so you can look to pay 160 bucks there, and then food. I feed a family of 6. Maybe your family that's going up there is just you and your son, so there could be 2 people. Maybe it's a lot less, but I look at $100 a day for my family. So it's about 500 bucks. We do a lot of the let's go to Kroger and buy a bunch of food, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, things like that. We can do for like lunches and then really only go out to dinner or grab something, bite to eat, once a day or something like that for dinner or something like that. So this is how I structure how much my total cost would be, what I'm budgeting for this. So it's about 1,700 bucks. So you add those two together and you're roughly about $2,000. Could be less than that. but we can keep the cost down. So we got, again, we talked about, 501c3. We're a 501c3 organization, nonprofit. So we can take donations. I'm constantly looking for corporations to help out with some of these costs and be a sponsor. If you know of any company that wants to sponsor us, please have them reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to talk to them and let them know what we're doing. You can go through Carpool, Parent Chaperone, some do some shared costs. As mentioned, I'm a referee, so I encourage people if you want to be a referee, $65. You too can be a referee. You get a nice jersey in it. Well, you got to pay for your jersey, but you get your jersey. You can make several $100 while you're up there at USA Cup to keep down some of your costs. Other things you want to consider when budgeting, souvenirs. Do you have a tournament shirts, tournament soccer balls, entertainment? Are you going to those MLS games? Going to, theme parks, water parks? Are you feeding a family of two? Are you feeding a family of six? Are you flying? Are you driving? Do you need a rental car? There's a lot of stuff that you can take into consideration. But again, this is really under your control. You can do what you can do. If you're living on a street tight budget, you can actually formulate. Speaking about the budget and how this stuff works, the hotel. I want to speak about the hotel today. This is a state of play, yes, but we're going to have more than enough people staying just by counts at the hotel that we're not going to need everybody there. If you find out that, hey, I got family up there or I want to stay at an Airbnb, it's just cheaper, go for it. Just do it. Do what you need to do to keep your cost at the level that you need to keep your cost. The only thing that's going to be static is going to be those sunk costs that we talked about. It's going to be about $230. And again, we're going to keep trying to keep nailing that down, driving it down, down, and down. But these other costs can either explode your budget, or you can keep it, well reined in. So it's going to be a lot up to you. So next steps, as we talked about, we're going to have 16 team rosters. Currently, with the 2011 2009s, we have 15 families interested. Purposely not shooting for the 16 right now. We started this out by reaching out to the previous families to find out what their interest looks like. And then we also started asking for referrals from previous families and then did a passive reach out on social media. This was done primarily for the 2009s because they only had 13 players last year. So we're going to, we drummed up that 15 player interest through these avenues. To get to 15. We're leaving the last roster spot or the spots for the coach to decide their needs. My expectation is out of the 15 that are interested, 10 are going to say yes from both teams. That's what I expect. Because once it comes down to do formal commitments, you're always going to have people saying, "No, it's not right for our family this year." So I think we're going to end up with 10. That's going to leave 5 to 6 players open for the coach's needs. And this is what we're going to do is we're going to take those 5 to 6 spots and identify what do we need? So do we need more defenders? Do we need more midfielders? Do we need more strikers? Do we need a goalie? These are the things that we're going to be looking for so we don't end up with 16 midfielders. We want to make sure that the coach has a say to say, yes, for my style of play, I'm more defensive, so I'm going to have a lot more I need a lot more defenders, or having 3 defenders fine. I want a lot more strikers. So it really is in the style of play by the coach. So and how he wants to play. So we'll leave those last there. So how do you commit? Simply send me an email, stateofohiosc@gmail.com. Send me an email with your name, your player's name, and the 3 jersey numbers that they would like as selected. So hey, my name's David. My Johnny wants to play with you, and he would like numbers 7, 9, and 10. And so what we'll do is we assign numbers based upon if they're a previous player and their number and they selected the same number, they got first dibs on that same number. Their number is ready to go. If they're changing numbers or if they're a new player, then we work on a timestamp. So when you say, yep, Johnny wants to play, I take your timestamp, I put it into the spreadsheet, and that's how I dictate prioritization of who gets the numbers first. So again, it benefits you to commit earlier rather than later to make sure that you have your number, and then away we go. You'll also start receiving information for USSSA carding, for the USA Cup team registration costs and the kit costs. Those I pay out of my pocket, and then I look for reimbursement. And again, I keep it very, very transparent, so you know exactly where that money is going. Like I said, USSSA carding, I think it was 13 something dollars. Team registration cost 530 divided by 16, and then the kit costs, those are $65. Everyone pays a kit cost, including the goalies. So the goalie will get their own kit. They're going to get their own jersey, their own set. But the goalies also, for free, they do get a goalie jersey as well. So they get to design their own jerseys. So I will work with the goalies parents and the goalie player to get their own jerseys that they design, along with the team kits. Players will then be identified. We're going to have their number on the back of the jersey as long as their name or whatever they want on the back. Most players put their last name, but I've had some players put their first name. Somebody, I don't care what you put on there. You can put even your favorite club on there. I don't care. It's whatever you want. I let the kids have fun with it. All right. So, and here's some other useful links. I have the website here. Again, nothing really, to talk about. It just is a website. Facebook, I highly recommend following us on Facebook so you can keep up to date on any new announcements. And again, when we're up there, I try to, post some pictures up there for people to see. Donations, I did say, again, we're a 501c3 organization, so you can make donations tax deductible. USA Cup website, the activity guide. This is 2023-24, and I'm assuming this will be the 25 link, and then the trailer for the 2025 USA Cup. With that said, that's the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions, feel free, send them again to me to my email, stateofohiosc@gmail.com. I will answer your question the best I can. If I do not know the answer, I will go find the answer. But again, as I thank everyone for their time, I thank you for listening to me. Hopefully, we'll be able to have and welcome you and your family up to Minnesota to join us. It's an amazing experience. Like I said, it's like no soccer tournament that you have ever been to in the United States. And I don't care what level you play. You can go do the ECNL events down in Orlando. You can go do the Jefferson Cup. You can go do the Dallas Cup. USA Cup is in a class of itself. It's very, not to say that those other ones aren't good. It's just different. It's built more like an international event. And it's just an experience that, if you're not planning to go internationally, this is an experience that your kids will never ever forget, and you won't forget. And if you do plan to go internationally, it's a good icebreaker to understand what the international feel will look like if you decide to go to a tournament internationally like the Lini Cup or Gothia Cup or something like that. So again, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys got some information. I look forward to seeing you guys on the field, and keep playing, have fun, and we'll talk soon. Thank you very much.